Hello and welcome to Is This Your Card? Today we're looking at Animal Companion. Animal Companion is a 3-cost hunter spell that summons one of 3 creatures at random. First we're going to look at Leok, the 2/4 summoned chimera that gives +1 attack to all other minions. Leok has a pretty nice stat line for a 3-cost minion. A 2/4 isn't too bad. It's effectively the combination of an Argent Watchman, but it can attack freely, and a Raid Leader. Except, and it costs around about the same for both of them. It's a nice combination effect that doesn't rely on anything. Leok is a really nice card to have on the board, even if you don't have too many minions. 2 Leoks do stack, so a Leok will buff another Leok, obviously. So it's nice to have around. It's not the most amazing card you can pull out of there, honestly, but for 3 mana you get a 2/4 that's got 2 more health than a Raid Leader. That's not too bad. And Raid Leader was never considered very good because it's a 3-cost 2/2, even with the +1 attack to all of the minions. So Leok has a bit more of a usefulness in that regard. The second card minion we're going to be looking at is going to be Huffer, which is the 4/2 charge. Again, not a terrible minion, pretty powerful. Arguably one of the ones that face hunters want the most because it just does 4 straight hit damage to the face for 3 mana. It's not incredible. It's not fantastic, and it's certainly not the most amazing minion I would personally say out of the 3 available ones, but it's a good card. Huffer's straight-up 4/2 charge ability means that Animal Companion can gain immediate value, which is something that Leok and the other summon may not be able to do initially. So really Huffer is quite useful in that aspect. It's also good for setting up an immediate trade. If an opponent plays something that's too risky to leave alive, then you can definitely get rid of it almost immediately. The only problem is Huffer has only 2 health, and 2 health is not a really good start line. Also, plot point, Huffer has the same start line as Acidmore. That's how weak Acidmore is. The final card to be pulled from Animal Companion is my personal favourite, the 4/4 Taunt Misha. Compared to the Iron Fur Grizzly, which is a 3/3 Taunt for 3, it's literally just straight up better. This is one of the best parts about Animal Companion, the fact that everything summoned through it is arguably better than anything else you could play for the same mana cost. For example, the comparison between Leok and Raid Leader. Leok has 2 more health. The comparison between Wolf Rider and Huffer. Huffer has 1 more attack or 1 more health. Or you could compare it to Arcane Golem, which it costs about the same, except it doesn't give your opponent a mana crystal. And then you have Misha, which is just +1/+1 on top of the existing stats. All of these creatures have at least around about 4 or 2 as their stat lines, which means they're a little bit predictable. But for the most part, that means they can't be Shadow Word Pained or Shadow Word Deathed, which is quite nice. Leok can be Shadow Word Pained, however. 4 health is a little bit tricky to remove since there's no spell that does straight up 4 damage, so these minions are fairly reliable too. Animal Companion is a really good spell. Even if you get something that isn't necessarily the best thing you need in that situation, it's almost certainly going to be a good card. To either taunt, a buff, or a charge minion. This generally means that Animal Companion is good in most situations, if not most decks, and also all of the card summons, well, they're all beasts.